Chosen one, the night is breathing differently tonight. There's a stillness that feels like a warning wrapped in silence. You can feel it, can't you? The air around you carries a weight, as if heaven itself is watching closely. Somewhere deep within your spirit, a quiet voice has already whispered the message before you even heard these words. Do not open the door. This is not just about your home. It's about your soul, about the boundaries you've set, the energy you protect, the faith you fought for. There's something, or someone, waiting for you to make a mistake, to answer a knock that was never sent by God. The spiritual world moves tonight, and not everything that approaches you carries light. When God warns His chosen ones, it's never random. It's because something has already been set in motion in the unseen. Someone, somewhere, has called your name with dark intentions, not through prayer, but through envy. The moment you start walking in divine purpose, the enemy doesn't come with horns. It comes disguised as something familiar, someone kind, a voice from the past, a sudden message, or even a knock on your door. You think it's harmless, but tonight, that knock carries energy, the kind that drains you, binds you, and tests your discernment. God says, be still. Do not open. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this very moment, to this message, for a reason. There's something about tonight that requires your full awareness, your full faith. If your heart has been heavy lately, if you've been sensing strange shifts in your energy, if things have been breaking down only to rebuild stronger, this is your sign. The universe has placed you in this exact timeline to awaken your spirit. Write your warmest wish in the comments and seal it with 99, because the universe listens when you move with intention. Do not hold back. Let your heart speak and declare what you desire. And if your soul stirs while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. You are part of this frequency. When you engage, you align your energy with the message. You activate protection and attract divine power into your life. This isn't superstition. This is spiritual awareness. The chosen ones have always lived between two worlds, the seen and the unseen. You're sensitive because you're called. You feel things others can't because your soul was designed to detect danger before it arrives. God built that radar into your very being. You may think you're just anxious, but that unease you feel tonight is not fear. It's divine intuition. Heaven has surrounded you, but you must do your part. Do not answer. Do not respond. Do not engage. The enemy's greatest trick is to mimic the familiar, to come through the faces of those you once loved, to knock using a voice that sounds like comfort, but carries poison. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the door before you. On one side, your peace, fragile but glowing. On the other, chaos disguised as connection. The knock might come softly, gently, as if it's nothing. But spiritually, it's loud. It's a vibration meant to test your discipline. You've come too far to let curiosity open the gates of your protection. The ones who walk with God are watched closely, not only by heaven, but by everything that wants to pull them back into darkness. Tonight, your silence will be your shield. Some doors lead to destiny, others lead to delay, and the one that knocks tonight leads to a trap. This is why the message found you. You weren't searching for it. It searched for you. God is using these words to reach your consciousness, to awaken the part of you that knows how fragile your spiritual balance is right now. Remember, not every opportunity is a blessing, not every person is sent from light, and not every knock deserves your attention. Protect your atmosphere like it's sacred, because it is. The moment you say no to darkness, you tell the universe you're ready for higher alignment. You are the threshold between heaven's will and the world's chaos, and tonight you're being tested. The real battle is not outside your door, it's inside your discernment. Trust what you feel. If something seems off, it is. If a message feels heavy, don't respond. If a visitor feels wrong, don't open. God is not teaching you fear. He's teaching you wisdom. The chosen ones who learn to stay silent during these tests rise faster than anyone else. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means control. It means knowing that your peace is too valuable to be gambled with. The night may grow colder, and the knocks may grow louder, both in sound and in spirit. But the one who trusts in divine timing never needs to rush to answer. Because when something is truly meant for you, it doesn't need to knock. It walks straight through the door of your destiny with peace, not disturbance. So, stay grounded, stay calm, let the night pass. The test will end as quietly as it began, and when morning comes, you'll feel it. A lightness in your spirit, proof that you obeyed the warning. That's how divine protection works. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's simple obedience. And tonight, obedience is everything. There's a moment between the knock and your reaction where everything slows down. The air stills, your heart races, and something ancient inside you whispers, "Don't move." That whisper isn't fear, chosen one. It's recognition. Your soul remembers what your mind forgot. Not all that approaches you is human, and not all invitations are meant to be accepted. In this exact moment of your life, the spiritual realm is watching your decisions closely. Your obedience determines your breakthrough. What knocks at your door tonight may not come with footsteps or wood against metal. It might arrive as a sudden message, a call from someone you thought you'd forgotten, a tempting idea to revisit the very pain you escaped. That's the true form of the knock. It's not always physical. It's energetic. You've grown. You've evolved. And when light expands, darkness always revisits to test your strength. That's why this message found you now. It's not random. It's synchronization. The same energy that tried to silence you once will try to re-enter under disguise. It'll come in patterns that once comforted you. It'll speak words that used to make you feel seen. But something in you will feel off. A small unease that tells you, this is not for me anymore. That's the voice you must honor. It's God's language through intuition. You're not here by coincidence. You were guided to this moment by divine order. Your soul was led here because heaven needs you awake and aware. You've been sensing that something's shifting, haven't you? That strange energy around you lately. It's not just life. It's alignment. It's your higher self stepping into protection mode. That's why you must act now. Write your warmest wish in the comments and seal it with 99. The number 99 carries the vibration of divine completion, the moment when your faith becomes action. When you release your wish, you release fear. When you declare it, heaven listens. So don't hold back. Write it, speak it, believe it. And if your soul is trembling while hearing these words, don't scroll away. Like this video, subscribe right now. You belong in this light. You are chosen, and your energy is meant to grow stronger with every message you receive. Every knock in life asks a question. Will you stay where you are or step into your next level? The irony is that the enemy knows your curiosity is powerful. It knows how much you crave closure, clarity, or connection. That's why it knocks, not to enter, but to lure. The moment you respond to something beneath you, you shrink to meet it. The moment you resist, you expand beyond its reach. That's why God's warning is precise. Do not open. Not the door, not the message, not the memory. Because each one holds a contract, one that tries to pull you back into what you've already outgrown. Tonight, your strength is in your stillness. The world around you will try to provoke you. A post you see, a person you miss, a feeling that tells you to respond. But the chosen ones don't chase validation. They protect revelation. And that's what this is, a revelation of your own spiritual power. You are not just avoiding danger, you are commanding your energy. Every no you give to the wrong source becomes a yes to your destiny. Think about it. What if the door that tempts you to open is not leading to comfort, but to delay? What if that familiar voice isn't calling because it misses you, but because it senses your peace and wants to disturb it? Evil doesn't need your permission to exist. It needs your attention to grow. The moment you look away, it loses power. That's why your silence tonight is warfare. Your refusal is prayer, and your peace is your shield. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Don't text back. Don't reply. Don't knock back. Let the silence echo. It will confuse what was meant to tempt you. When you stay still, darkness cannot attach to motion. That's why the chosen ones move differently. They're not loud, but their energy speaks volumes. You don't need to prove your awareness. You just need to hold it. The knock may happen outside, but the battle is inside, between impulse and intuition. Let your intuition win tonight. That's what separates you from the rest of the world. You've lived through too many betrayals, too many spiritual ambushes to ignore the signs again. You can feel the shift in your bones, the vibration of a test approaching. You can even feel your ancestors watching you, urging you not to repeat old mistakes. This time, you'll listen. This time, you'll stand guard. Because this time, you understand the price of peace, and you're not willing to trade it for a moment of curiosity. Chosen one, when the knock comes, whether in sound, message, or thought, smile softly, because you'll know what it is. A test disguised as nostalgia, a shadow pretending to be light. But you'll also know this: what waits behind that door no longer deserves the power to enter. The night deepens, and the air feels charged, like something invisible is pacing outside your spirit, searching for a weakness, waiting for the moment you lose your focus. The chosen ones feel it stronger than anyone else. That strange tension in your chest, the sudden chill, the flicker in your lights, the way your phone screen glows without reason. All of it is a reminder that you're not just existing in the physical. You're standing between realms tonight. What you sense isn't imagination, it's recognition. Darkness can't stand the light that burns within you, so it prowls near your threshold, hoping curiosity will undo what faith has built. But not this time. This time, you are awake. You see, there's a rhythm in the spiritual world, an exchange between calling and answering. Every knock demands a reply, but not every reply must be given. That's the wisdom most never learn. When you answer every energy that calls your name, you scatter yourself. But when you choose silence, you collect power. That's why the night feels heavy, because the universe is waiting to see what you'll choose. God has already armed you with discernment. Now he's watching you wield it. It's a sacred test, one not meant to break you, but to prove what you've become. You used to react to every sound, every emotion, every person. Now you pause. Now you feel. Now you see beyond the illusion. When the chosen one starts seeing clearly, the enemy grows desperate. It stops attacking through chaos and begins approaching through imitation. The knock may come with politeness, with empathy, even with tears, but energy never lies. The one who's been touched by divine truth knows when something feels off, even if every word sounds right. You've been given that gift for a reason. That shiver you feel when something's wrong is not weakness. It's your built-in protection. That's God whispering through your body. When you ignore it, you invite harm. When you trust it, you walk in divine armor. Remember the times you opened the door before. You thought you could handle it, that you were strong enough to fix, to heal, to love through darkness. But every time, you lost a piece of yourself. This time it's different. This time you've learned that love without discernment is a doorway to exhaustion. The enemy doesn't always take from you violently. Sometimes it drains you slowly through conversation, attention, distraction. It waits for you to feel guilty enough to open. But guilt is not guidance. And tonight, you owe no one your peace. The knock may be subtle, but its intent is not. It's there to remind you of who you used to be, a version of you that doubted your intuition, that second-guessed divine warnings. But that version is gone. You've walked through too many storms to misread silence now. Tonight, the silence is sacred. It's the sound of your protection working. It's heaven placing its hand over your door, whispering, "Stay still. Let me handle it." You're not avoiding confrontation. You're letting the divine intercept it. Think about how many times you've been lured by the sound of familiarity. How many times a name or a voice pulled you back into cycles you swore you'd escaped. That's what the enemy counts on. Your empathy, your longing to be understood, your desire to give the benefit of the doubt. But chosen ones are learning that mercy without boundaries becomes self-destruction. And the greatest act of love you can show yourself tonight is to not open that door. Protecting your peace doesn't make you heartless, it makes you holy. In the spirit world, silence speaks louder than words. When you don't respond, the darkness hears your refusal as thunder. It retreats, confused by your calm, frustrated by your restraint. You see, evil feeds on reaction. It wants chaos. It wants a scene. But the one who stays still under attack terrifies it. Because peace is a language of power that darkness cannot understand. When you sit in stillness and breathe while the knock echoes, you declare, "I know who I am. I know whose I am." That awareness alone sends ripples through the unseen realm. Some will think you're paranoid. Some will mock you for being too spiritual. Let them. They don't know what it feels like to be marked by destiny, to be tested by forces that can't be seen, but can be felt like cold hands brushing your soul. You are not imagining things. You are perceiving things. And perception is what keeps the chosen alive in times like these. When dawn comes and the night finally exhales, you'll look back and realize that the battle wasn't outside your home. It was inside your discipline. The knock was never just a sound. It was a mirror, a question. Will you choose your peace or your past, your spirit or your impulse, heaven or noise? Tonight, you answered by staying silent. And that silence is echoing in eternity. The night feels endless, but this silence has meaning, chosen one. Every tick of the clock is sacred, each second testing your alignment, your focus, your trust in the unseen. Somewhere outside your walls, energies stir, shadows move. Thoughts try to reach you through invisible lines. You're being watched, not in fear, but in fascination. The enemy studies those who glow. It waits for fatigue, for doubt, for that moment you start to question what you feel. But you've come too far to question divine instincts now. You don't need to see the danger to know it's there. You only need to listen to the quiet voice within you that says, "Stay where you are. Keep the door closed." That voice is your shield, and right now it's the only sound you should obey. Every chosen one experiences this crossroads, the moment when heaven measures obedience through restraint. You don't earn your breakthrough by acting, but by not reacting. Tonight, stillness is warfare. The energy you refuse to entertain cannot attach to you. That's the secret of spiritual mastery. Control. To see something approaching and not move. To feel its presence and remain unshaken. The world calls it indifference. Heaven calls it dominion. When you learn to protect your vibration, you become untouchable. And that's why this test feels so heavy. It's not punishment, it's graduation. You've already noticed it. Certain people reappearing, sudden memories resurfacing, unexpected calls, random messages that pull at old emotions. Those are not coincidences. They're summons. The enemy sends them to check if you still crave what once broke you. Each one is a spiritual knock disguised as nostalgia. But you've evolved. You see through illusion now. You understand that not everything lost deserves recovery, and not everything familiar deserves return. God removes to refine. When you reopen the door, you reinvite what was already removed for your protection. So hold your ground. You are not losing anyone. You are keeping yourself. Remember this. When God isolates you, He's not punishing you. He's purifying your environment. Some of the greatest blessings never arrive because too many wrong energies are still around. Heaven doesn't place gold in a room full of thieves. That's why this night matters. It's not about fear. It's about boundaries. The one who knocks doesn't want conversation. They want access. But access is sacred, and not everyone should have it. Protecting your door is protecting your destiny. There's a pattern in spiritual attacks. They always come when you're close to breakthrough. Before every elevation, the atmosphere grows strange. Your sleep changes, your dreams grow vivid, your emotions fluctuate. That's how you know you're near something holy. The resistance intensifies because the enemy senses your glow. It wants to dim what's about to shine. But the chosen one understands that the closer the attack, the nearer the reward. So when you feel pressure, don't panic. Smile. It means heaven's next chapter for you is about to open. And the only thing that can stop it is the door you open to the wrong spirit. Take a deep breath. Feel that pulse under your skin. That's your spirit standing guard. It's alive, aware, and stronger than it's ever been. You're not the same person who once opened doors blindly, trusting everyone, explaining yourself endlessly, apologizing for your light. You've learned the art of stillness. You've learned that sometimes the most powerful statement is silence. Tonight, silence is your sermon. Let it preach to the darkness that you're no longer available for chaos. The chosen ones carry an aura that attracts both admiration and attack. Your light comforts the pure, but it burns the corrupted. That's why certain energies can't leave you alone. They crave the light they lost. But what they don't understand is that your glow doesn't come from you. It flows through you. They can knock all they want, but they can't touch what's divinely sealed. The protection around you isn't fragile. It's ancient. It was spoken before you were even born. You are covered by the covenant of purpose. That's why tonight's silence isn't empty. It's sacred. You might feel lonely, but you're not alone. You're surrounded by unseen warriors, angels positioned around your home, your mind, your spirit. Their presence is subtle but constant. They stand between you and what knocks. They wait for your obedience to stay firm, because your stillness gives them permission to fight on your behalf. When you move prematurely, they stand still. When you stay still, they move swiftly. So tonight, let heaven fight for you. Let silence speak for you. Chosen one, look around you. The night may seem dark, but the air is glowing with unseen light. You are the center of that glow. The enemy doesn't knock because it wants to enter. It knocks because it fears you've already stepped into something greater, and you have. That's why the test feels intense. Every great destiny requires a gatekeeper moment. A night like this, where obedience outweighs desire. Stay calm, stay closed. The storm may rage outside, but inside you, peace must remain sovereign. The real door is not made of wood or glass. It's your heart. Guard it, lock it, seal it with faith. The one who knocks tonight cannot enter what's already protected by purpose. The night is almost over, chosen one. The knock has faded. The silence has won. You didn't open, and in doing so, you proved something powerful to the universe. You've mastered restraint. This was never about fear. It was about faith. The enemy expected reaction, chaos, weakness. Instead, you responded with calm. That calm echoed through the spiritual world like thunder. Heaven heard it. Darkness felt it. You stood your ground, and that act alone shifted your destiny. Somewhere unseen, something heavy just broke off your path. That knock was never random. It was permission seeking to reattach itself. By refusing, you severed a spiritual tie that's been following you for years. You may not feel the victory immediately, but soon you'll notice the signs. Your sleep will deepen, your thoughts will clear, your peace will strengthen. That's what divine obedience does. It restores. You've just stepped into a higher vibration, one where not every sound deserves an answer, and not every presence deserves acknowledgement. Understand this. Chosen ones are not called to entertain everything that approaches them. They are called to guard sacred space. Every no you give to the wrong energy becomes a yes to God's next move in your life. Tonight was a lesson in silence, but it was also an initiation into power. When you refused to open, you declared to the universe that you're done entertaining cycles that end in pain. You chose evolution, and evolution always costs something. Curiosity, loneliness, attachment. But it pays with peace, strength, and spiritual clarity. Now the light of dawn begins to rise. The world outside looks the same, but inside you, something is different. You feel lighter, cleaner, as if a shadow left when you said nothing. That's divine proof. That's what it means to walk in awareness. You didn't just pass a test. You changed frequencies. The knock will come again in new forms, but from this night forward, you'll recognize it instantly. You'll smile, stay silent, and watch your peace remain untouched. Chosen one, tonight, you didn't just protect your home. You protected your calling. You proved that you've learned what many never do, that real power doesn't shout, it stays still. You are no longer reactive, you are radiant. The universe bends for that kind of energy. Heaven honors it. Darkness fears it. And from this night on, your silence will be remembered in the spiritual realm as a victory cry that needed no sound.